Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, finally Friday. I'm so excited. It's July 7th
Yes,
now.
it is.
Want to remind you as we jump into this, we go live every weekday morning on Facebook, but of course, anytime after we stop going live, you can watch it on your news feed. So all day long, we make it into a podcast. Go to inform.com/podcast and look for the Inform Minute to find it if that's what you like. And also on our Inform YouTube channel. We are everywhere. Lots going on, fun events we want to talk about heading into the weekend, and we're going to have Dylan come over and join us here in just a little bit to talk about the fair forecast and all. Well, we also have some severe. I was going to say all good things weather-wise, but we do have some severe
We're watching
weather.
some stuff, so we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But first, let's dive into our local headlines.
Okay. First up, we're tracking some breaking news for you this morning. A serious accident happened near Barnesville, Minnesota overnight. In fact, Life Flight had to be called in to bring someone to the hospital. That accident happened right around 11:30 last night, north of Barnesville, near a rural home. We did get video of the scene pretty late last night. We do know that both the Minnesota State Patrol and the Clay County Sheriff's Office responded. Deputies at this point not releasing a lot of information to us, but they did tell us only one vehicle was involved. We are still working right now to learn how many people were hurt, how many people were in that vehicle, and who was taken by Life Flight to the hospital. The crash is still under investigation, but we are hoping to learn more information a little later today.
Right now, police are searching for the people responsible for an apartment shootout that caused a nearby hospital to go into lockdown. It happened just before 7:30 last night, right across the street from Essentia Health. Fargo police say they received a 911 call about shots fired. When they arrived, none of the people involved were still there at the scene. Dozens of kids were playing soccer just a few hundred feet away at Ed Clapp Elementary. We talked to one mom who told us she dropped her son off and was heading toward 32nd Avenue when she saw two men shooting at each other. One was in the parking lot of the Park Place Apartments, the other across the street at the library. Right now, as far as we know, it appears nobody was hit by those bullets. But a bullet hole was found in the side of a garage, and then another bullet hole was found in a parked car nearby. Most people in that area thought that these were fireworks going off at first. Obviously, that wasn't the case in the end. Several neighbors say there's cameras in that area. We expect police to obviously do full surveillance, review of that area. But right now, they have not identified any suspects.
Also right now, the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office is looking for a sex offender who they say cut his monitoring bracelet off. And it happened within 40 minutes of him starting to serve his home sentence. They're looking for 23-year-old Bill Brown Jr. He's serving 180 days for failing to register as a sex offender. He was supposed to serve 90 days in jail, but then 90 days at home. The Sheriff's Office tells us that Brown ran away. They actually found his monitoring bracelet in a trash can. His last known address was 401 Belmont Road in Grand Forks. So, of course, they're looking for him. If you have any information, you know where he is, where he might be, call police right away.
This weekend, Fort Ransom State Park is hosting Sodbuster Days. The event goes from 10 to 5 tomorrow, 10 to 4 on Sunday. It gives visitors the chance to experience what pioneer life was like in North Dakota. There will be horse-drawn farming demonstrations, blacksmithing, woodworking, lots of fun stuff going on there. Also some live music, food trucks. The event is $10 per person, and kids 12 and under are free.
The Red River Market is back this weekend. We're all excited for that. Happening in downtown Fargo. Tomorrow's opening day. It starts at 10 in the morning, goes until 2 in the afternoon. The market features 50 vendors, more than 50 vendors. They're all going to be right around the Broadway Square area. Lots going on for the first Saturday of the season as well. There's going to be a live performance of the Fargo Moorhead's Big Top Jazz Band, also a cooking demo from Wendy Wheeler. But if you don't get down there tomorrow, don't worry. It's actually happening every Saturday through October. But we should know, next weekend it's Sunday because of the street fair, I believe. But anyway, but Saturdays for the next couple of months, for sure.
All right, and then, of course, the big event that everyone's talking about, the Red River Valley Fair, kicks off its 10-run day today. If you plan on going, you want to know some things. Gates open at 11. This morning, it's $15 to get in for anyone 12 and older. It's $8 for kids 6 to 11, and free for kids 5 and under. If you're planning on going on any rides at the carnival, a daily ride pass bought at the gate actually doesn't include admission, but you can buy daily ride passes at PetroServe USA gas stations. And that does include your price of admission as well. So you can save a few bucks doing that. And of course, WDAY is actually going to be out there live later
Yeah,
today
excited
for our
about
5
that.
and 6 o'clock newscasts. We had our crew there live this morning. Dylan and Bethany were doing segments out there,
Yep.
but we're going to do our full newscasts at 5 and 6 from the fairgrounds.
And we talked about this a little bit as we're waiting for Dylan to come over and give us our fair forecast as well. Clear bags. You have to have a clear bag to go into the concerts this year.
Yeah,
and they
new
have a lot of that
policy.
information on Red River Valley Fair.com.
Yeah, their website.
Their website.
So look it up.
You might want to check that out. But yeah, that's a big change for the grandstands.
Yeah.
I heard the
Did you
cue
hear?
to Dylan, get your butt
Dylan,
over here.
I know we have some other, but we're talking about the fair, so we
Yes,
want to jump
that's
into
fair,
the
that's fair.
fair forecast today because you are tracking some. Well, there was already rain up
Mm-hmm.
near Grand Forks, but we could see some severe weather this afternoon.
Yeah, northern Minnesota's seen a couple of thunder showers, but that front's moving southward slowly throughout the day, so there'll be a chance of a couple of severe storms later on today. Right around sometime between about 2 or 2 to 3-ish. So about 2, we'll say 2 through about 8 as those storms move southward. I'd say the best chance for Fargo in the Southern Valley is probably closer to like a 3 to 7.
Okay.
But we'll just see how this front moves on through.
Sure.
And a couple of storms could be strong with 60 mile per hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail, something we'll continue to watch. But
Yeah.
any fair plans, remember, don't hide in a porta potty. There's storms. You want to make sure you're in an actual building.
Because typically that's the first place you want to go is to a porta potty.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
you know,
It's like Stinky.
I'm not like you, but maybe that's something. I'm kidding. That's something that other people are like.
Oh, boy.
We all know. We've all seen the videos, right? Of
Yeah.
people like porta potties being flown around or like tipped over.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
wants to be in that. So, storms, 60 mile per hour wind gusts.
It's like putting good visuals in there.
And you might be thinking of running to something to duck for cover because it's pouring
Yeah.
rain, or hopefully when you hear the thunder, you're already inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Make sure you're in an actual building, not a fake building or a tent.
Yeah.
Tents fly too.
Yeah.
You know, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, nothing to mess around with. So.
Yeah, good stuff.
Scott's going to Dan and Shay tonight, so he's
Yeah, he
really
is.
going to be keeping a close eye on.
Yeah, we're hoping the weather holds out for us, and by the forecast, it looks like we
Yeah, it
probably
should
be
be good.
okay.
Yeah,
Probably
I think
okay,
it'll be the
so.
concert time. I think it'll be fine. It'll be out of here. It's more
Good.
Yeah, late afternoon, early evening. I think we're most concerned about. So we'll keep you updated. If you have the Storm Tracker app, which we talked about
Yes.
this morning,
There you go, download
it will tell you if you'll track your location if you wanted to, and it will tell you where you are, how like heavy rain near Fargo. It'll tell you. I get that all the time. Do you have the Storm Tracker? You
Oh
do.
yeah, I do. Have
You
it.
do?
It's on my phone,
do you,
man.
Oh, good. Do you get those notifications?
Yeah, but I turned a lot of them off, so it's
Oh.
only the important ones because
Okay.
I was getting
Yeah.
a lot of
I always get the heavy rain near Fargo.
Yeah, that's
And
a
I
good
look, It's
one.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
lightning.
there it is.
Lightning
Yep.
too. Lightning.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
I get them, and it's, yep.
And if it's a severe thunderstorm warning, we'll usually push a video. Like Jesse or John at night, they'll make a quick minute video to
Yeah.
let you know how the storm is going. So it's a good app. It really is. We try to keep you safe, and it really works well for
And there's so many outdoor
activities.
activities. Yeah,
Yes,
with the
so
fair, which
many.
is the start of
Yes.
this 10-day stretch. We have
Yep.
the Red River Market,
Yep.
Street Fair next
Yep.
year, or next week. We're talking about already, preparing
Yeah.
for. So
Yeah. And also, even at the lake. I mean, there's
Yeah.
a lot of lake weekend is a lot of time
Yeah.
for last weekend. Maybe you're going to lake this weekend. But either way, wherever it is, it just shows you it's a good little app. So
Absolutely.
And it's us, and everybody likes us
we love our
That's
Storm
right.
Tracker weather
Right?
team.
That's the best part.
sometimes.
All right, we love you. Get out of here now. All right, we'll go back to some of our national headlines here as well this morning. The investigation into cocaine that was found at the White House is expected to wrap up sometime early next week. A federal law enforcement official says that the Secret Service will conclude its probe regardless of whether or not they actually figure out a suspect, which seems odd. You'd think they'd be able to figure it out, but this is kind of the
see.
breakdown. Why? They've started reviewing visitor logs and security footage. They're even looking at DNA and fingerprint analysis, but the bag of cocaine was found in a cubby near the ground floor entrance of the West Wing. Here's the deal. Staff-led tours that typically happen on the weekends pass right through that entrance.
Yep.
They make visitors put all their stuff in those cubbies. So, a ton of people put their stuff in. Actually, now they're saying too, staff sometimes puts their stuff in there. People have to put their phones in there. It's like a whole thing. So kind of hard to know and to identify someone when so many people put stuff in those cubbies.
Yeah, that's right. Also, headline today on the national scale. Today, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is releasing its official monthly job report for June. Early indications appear to show the U.S. labor market is still booming. In fact, it could cross a milestone. If the U.S. added jobs, it would be the 30th straight month for growth of the job market. Nearly 1.6 million jobs added this year already are the 10th highest for the U.S. going back to 1939, and that's when the U.S. started tracking those statistics.
Hot Mike with Dom Izzo coming up here at 9 to 11 on WDAY Extra and Inform.com. Today, he's going to be checking in with Pebble Beach after Amy Olsen's first round of the U.S. Women's Open to see if she can make the weekend. Also, the Major League Baseball draft is this weekend. He's going to be talking about how many from the Summit League will hear their name called.
Yeah, exciting time for any.
And talking about Amy Olsen, sorry, I'm like, and talking about
good.
that, but I'm going to cut you off. Lydia mentioned, I missed it, but Amy Olsen, they did a feature story on GM, and I watched it. It was great. It was
it's
they
really
didn't
cool
say
to
that
see
she
it.
was,
Didn't
from
give her
North Dakota.
the local, cred
That
for
we were-
being from here. But it's cool to see her talked about.
Yes,
And
and
it is amazing what she's doing. So
She is amazing, just altogether. I'm sorry, and yeah, are you going to be watching the baseball draft?
probably not.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be at the concert.
Right. More important things. It's fair season.
But it is exciting for any players that could get their name called. Don't forget also, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass to inform.com. Get updates on all your local headlines, national stories, weather, and sports.
And our next newscast is coming up here at 11. Dylan already mentioned he'll have an update on the weather, the rain, the severe risk that we have this afternoon. So get the very latest at 11. And then this afternoon, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10, and of course 5 and 6. We'll be live out at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds.
That's right.
So whether you're watching at home and see us at the fairgrounds, or if you're out there, we would love for you to stop by and say hi and, maybe walk behind them. I don't know what kind of security they have. Maybe you could be, Dana and Krista, and then you could just be like walking behind them.
Oh my
You can
goodness.
make your appearance. No, someone upstairs is going to say, why did you encourage people to do
That's
that?
what I was thinking. I was like, it might be.
It was not my idea.
But it'll be fun to be out there.
Yeah, say hi if you
Yeah.
see our crew out there for sure.
And then we'll be back for our first news on the weekends, and we'll be back on Monday.
All right, have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye.